How's it going, everyone? While it seems like as far as sequels being released in the month of October, there was a lot of interest in Spider-Man 2, there's a lot of interest in the upcoming release of Alan Wake 2, but Ghostrunner 2, if you played the first Ghostrunner, which I highly recommend you do, as frustrating as that game was at times, the soundtrack, the stylization, the action combat, the parkour, the platforming, those elements were really well done. I believe the game is on PlayStation Plus Extra. It readily goes on sale. Definitely go check that out, but we are coming up on the release of the sequel of that game in Ghostrunner 2, a direct follow-up and a game that looks to expand Ghostrunner 1 quite a bit and looks to be a far bigger game. A lot of information to go over, and I want to go over everything that you should know about Ghostrunner 2 before you drop your $40 on the game, or hell, if you're looking to buy the deluxe edition or the brutal edition, it will be $50 or $70. The official Steam page notes this: Blood will run in Ghostrunner 2, a hardcore FPP slasher set in a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk future. Become the ultimate cyber ninja and prepare for epic boss fights, improved skills, an interactive story, new game modes, and a captivating synthwave soundtrack. And if you played Ghostrunner 1, you already know how fantastic the soundtrack was to that game. I expect something just as good, if not better, in Ghostrunner 2. And again, if you played the first game, you know that fast-paced action gameplay with katana combat is at the heart of the game. And Ghostrunner 2 notes, featuring incredible katana combat mechanics, a deeper exploration of the world beyond Dharma Tower. Do expect a larger world here. Ghostrunner 1, fairly straightforward, but Ghostrunner 2 looks to be a more expansive world. Non-linear levels with complex motorbike sections, exciting new modes, and all the action you loved about Ghostrunner, plus boss fights are more interactive, giving players freedom to choose how to survive battles against the toughest of opponents. Ghostrunner 2 introduces new skills, allowing players to be more creative and take on even the most demanding encounters with greater accessibility. However, with that being said, enemies in Ghostrunner 2 will behave uniquely dependent on the skills used against them, making them a little bit more alive and authentic, providing a fresh challenge with each encounter. The player progression system has been completely redone, providing opportunities to experiment and customize gameplay as well. Immersive, mind-bending features, master the cyber void if you hope to survive, take on the challenging new enemies as you traverse interactive environments including exploding barrels, destructible walls, helpful neutral entities, and countless improvements that keep combat exciting and fresh. Can't get enough. Dive even deeper into the lore and plot with the new dialogue system as well, and save humanity in style as you decimate your opponents while listening to the captivating synthwave soundtrack featuring music from Daniel Deluxe, Goes, Dan Terminus, and Eric Rokowski. From a story standpoint, the game is set 1 year after the events of Ghostrunner, and Blood will run in this post-apocalyptic cyberpunk future that takes place after the fall of the Keymaster, a tyrant who ruled over Dharma Tower, the last refuge of humanity. The player has the power to shape the future of humanity and take on the violent cyber ninja AI cult that has taken shape outside of Dharma Tower, making it a truly epic and unforgettable experience featuring incredible boss fights, a deeper exploration of the world beyond, worthwhile combat improvements, non-linear levels with complex motorbike sections, exciting new modes, and all of the action you loved about the first game. You've got new skills that allow you to be more creative and take on even the most demanding encounters. There are many new enemy types, including some that are redone to fit the gameplay. The new interactive environment includes exploding barrels, destructible walls, neutral entities that can help the player, that add excitement to combat as well. And then again, with the new dialogue system, you will have more choice that'll allow you to dive deeper into the lore and plot. With that being said, with all the new features being implemented in Ghostrunner 2, it's looking to offer even more replay value than the first game, as players can now play the campaign, climb the leaderboards, experiment with their playstyle, because every playstyle is going to be a little bit different, with the enemies reacting differently depending on your playstyle and your skill choice, and try worthwhile new modes. The game is noted to be a must-play for fans of the original and anyone looking for an intense, immersive action experience. Now, I would recommend you to play the first game before you jump into this, but you can play this if you are primarily looking at it from the lens of a gameplay standpoint. So a little bit of a background on the story. In Ghostrunner, players ascend humanity's last refuge, Dharma Tower, a city plagued by violence, poverty, and chaos ruled over by the Keymaster. After defeating the ruthless Keymaster and liberating the people of Dharma Tower, humanity is finally free to make its own future. The Keymaster's death, however, leads to a power vacuum that is quickly filled by new parties. Once again, Dharma Tower becomes a dangerous place filled with violent gangs and secretive cult members. Thankfully, with the rise of the Interface Council, there is still hope. Ghostrunner 2 opens a year after after the events of the first game. Players join the interface in their quest to bring order to this futuristic dystopian world. When the death of one Ghostrunner is mourned, another one is about to be reborn. Key features of the game, though: fast-paced, push-forward action, regardless of its difficulty setting or story. The heart and soul of Ghostrunner 2 is fast, agile, push-forward combat and platforming. I think almost that statement does a disservice to a relatively well-done story in the first game, but obviously with a game like Ghostrunner, gameplay is so fine-tuned and at the heart of the experience. Mainline assets will play up the concept of being an unstoppable killing machine as an emotional draw for new players and a reminder to existing Ghostrunner players of the potent power fantasy they experienced in the previous title. Earn your kills. We don't shy away from a core tenet of Ghostrunner. The ultimate power fantasy is the one you earn. By adapting to and mastering the gameplay, players earn their kills and progression with new abilities and upgrade paths. You're empowered to tackle challenging combat and platforming sections and discover your own ultimate killing machine. And I had mentioned it before, but Ghostrunner 1, from a platforming standpoint, I thought was so well done. The gameplay is slick and super satisfying, but I thought the platforming was super well done as well. Quintessential cyberpunk setting as well. Its tone, story, characters, and music continue a long pop culture tradition of celebrating gritty cyberpunk, powerful heroes, monolithic villains, brutalistic architecture, neon lights, dark alleys, themes of dissent, despotism, and the struggle to define what makes us human, all set to a tailor-made synthwave soundtrack from some of the genre's biggest artists. And Humanity's Savior, Ghostrunner 2 has a stronger and more prominent narrative. Players are entrusted with a noble cause: save humanity. As Jack's brothers, exiled Ghostrunners, seek to destroy the last remnants of mankind, we will leverage the compelling story to emotionally engage new players and provide existing players with a cool continuation of Ghostrunner's plot. You've got a one-hit kill system. Players and most enemies have a single hit point. It's a crucial part of the game's combat and power fantasy loops. Instant restarts and frequent checkpoints avoid player frustration or feeling like they're being punished. That was one of the key imperative elements of the first Ghostrunner title. The fact that, yes, while the game was challenging and while I would even say it was frustrating at times, it did such a good job of re-entering you into the experience that it was incredibly addictive, because even if you failed, snap of a finger, you're right back into the thick of things and you're going for another run, trying to figure out where you went wrong and trying to get it right. It's so well done in that regard, and I think a lot of games can take notes from what Ghostrunner 1 did in terms of getting the player back into the action. You've also got extraordinary mobility. Mobility is the cornerstone of Ghostrunner 2's push-forward movement philosophy. Wall running, sliding, and dashing, ledge boosting, grappling, etc. allow players to engage in combat, strategize their attacks, and react precisely. And you've got special skills and abilities. Ghostrunner 2 brings back fan-favorite abilities, allowing players to gain the upper hand in combat, and more tools to the game's toolbox, allowing players to engage in combat in unique ways, including a new block and perfect parry system as well. So a lot of information there. Couple final things to note. Obviously, I mentioned at the top, we do have a variety of different editions for the game, and we do have pre-order bonuses for the game. So if you pre-order any edition of the game, you'll get the Red-Eyed Dragon traditional sword and hand skin, and then you'll also get the Golden traditional sword and hand skin. The deluxe edition will get you the base game and a bunch of skin content as well, and then the Brutal edition is the top edition. That'll be $70, and yes, that'll include 48 hours of early access of the game. I'm not a fan of this gimmick and this sticking point in gaming these days at all. So many games are going this route. Guys, this is a single-player game. The game is done and it's ready to go. You're not paying for early access. You're paying for day one release access, and really, the people that are paying $40, shame on you, because you're getting late access to the game. That is the deal. Do not get tricked by this gimmick, but it is what it is. You'll also get the Season Pass, which is going to include more content, including the Endless Moto mode, a brand new game mode downloadable content that'll release in 2024. Ice Pack, kill foes in cold blood, with the first downloadable content releasing on December 7th, featuring 3 sword skins, 3 hand skins, and a motorcycle skin, and additional cosmetic skins as well. And then you'll also get an additional cosmetic pack on top of that as well. 3 additional cosmetic packs with that as well. And then finally, I do want to note that if you're not sold on the game, there is an absolutely free demo that is available on all major platforms: PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Steam. Download the free demo, try it out for yourself. I feel like most of you guys will find the combat very satisfying, find a lot of the presentation and aesthetic elements satisfying, so check it out for yourself. This isn't a game that's that difficult to sell someone on it. I think once you experience it, you kind of get the idea, and it hooks you fairly quickly, so try that out if nothing else. Ghostrunner 2 does officially release on October the 26th. The Brutal Edition will give you 48 hours of early access on October the 24th. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.